come onto your mats. Prepare yourself for your practice with the props that you need. As usual, have available to yourself blanket for your knees. Perhaps you fold it and place it underneath your sit bones so that you can sit with ease and comfort. Have some blocks or your low footstools or a chair available so that you can balance on the chair by placing your fingers or hands gently on a chair or stool. Maybe you're close to a wall. Again, that will help you with balance. The purpose of having props available is to help bring the earth up towards us so that we're not struggling to reach for the earth and then feeling discouraged and disheartened because of that. So let's bring the earth up towards us, use the props. They help us to access the practice, and they help give us steadiness, balance, and reassurance to have them available. So once you have everything that you need, let's come into our easy pose, Sukhasana, with our legs crossed, sitting on your cushion, your block, or the earth. I always sit on a block to help me lift my spine. Roll your shoulders up towards your ears and then slide them down and away. Have your crown lifted up towards the sky. For your mudra today, to start with, we're working with the Anahata Chakra, the 4th chakra at the heart. We're working with the Anahata Chakra, the 4th chakra at the heart space. That's connected to the element of air. So all of the chakras, or most of the chakras, up to our throat are connected to one of the 5 elements, and then we reach beyond the elements as we go higher up. So at the crown there's no element. So the element for the heart chakra is air. The mudra for air is folding in your index finger towards the base of your thumb, and then take your thumb and place it just underneath the knuckle of your index finger, and then have your other 3 fingers, ring, middle, little fingers extended. And this, so I'll just show you, this is what it will look like. And that's your Vayu Mudra. Vayu is air. This creates space, expansion, helps us to absorb the energy, the pran, the vital life force that we invite in to balance, harmonize, activate, stimulate. So as you come into your Sukhasana, gently closing your eyes or taking a downward gaze, turning inward. Begin to notice the breath, the pran, the life of breath into your abdomen. Allow your abdomen to expand, ribs to open, chest to rise. Full yogic breath, Dirga Pranayam, as you start. And as you breathe out, draw your navel back towards the spine, allow your ribs to curl in, chest to fall. A full breath out. Inhaling, belly, ribs, chest, rise, expand, open. Exhaling, navel to the spine, ribs, chest, contract and fall. Releasing, surrendering, letting go. Inhaling, expanding, opening, filling. Exhaling, contracting, releasing, letting go. Three more breaths like this. And on your third breath, exhale fully through open mouth to release the breath and discharge the energy. Inhaling, release your Vayu Mudra and bring your hands together in Namaskar at the heart, opening our practice by chanting Om, the primordial vibration of the universe. Inhale fully through your nose. Exhale completely through open mouth to wash out the breath. Inhaling, prepare. Om. Inhale. Om. Inhale. Om. Hands to your eyebrow center, Anahata Chakra, namaste. And welcome to your practice. So our practice today is working very much with the heart space. I will be bringing in some mudras as hand gestures or seals, which direct and guide the energy. What we're doing with the energy in our body by working through the chakras is to clear the pathways, to help the energy rise towards liberation, but also for the energy to be absorbed in to help us ground and release. So this duality of releasing and letting go, but also reaching up and expanding. So we're grounding and reaching up. And the energy we're using, the breath, is how we represent that energy. We're going to guide that breath today towards our heart space here at the sternum. So one of the mudras that we're going to be doing is the Lotus Mudra, Padma Mudra. And we have practiced this before together, but we will do it again today. And we're going to do that prayer wheel, the Padma Chakra, as we rotate our hands. So I'm going to come a little bit closer so that you can see how I'm going to do this with my hands. So we have the hands at the heart center, fingers and thumbs pressing together. And then we open up through the middle of our hands. So our three fingers in the middle open up, our thumb and little finger stay connected. This is Padma. So you can gaze down into your palms and set your intention, your heartfelt prayer, sankalpa for your practice. The heart chakra, Anahata Chakra, is connected to compassion, love, devotion, faith and trust. So these very expansive, heartfelt emotions, feelings, sensations. So setting your mantra, your sankalpa with your mudra, your Padma Mudra here. And then as we move through our prayer wheel, we bring our hands together, turn our fingers down so that our palms are opening up towards our heart space. Then we bring the backs of our hands together, open our palms so that we're sort of creating this book-like shape. And then we bring the little finger and thumbs together again. So we do this rotating our fingers down and then up, turning our palms towards our face, and then opening up into the lotus flower. So if I just do this a couple of times, and then we can practice. And we're reaching up, and then we're reaching down towards our heart space. So it's a rotation of our hands. So we're opening up, then we're folding our fingers down towards the earth, creating this triangle shape, this downward pointing triangle between our little fingers, our index and thumb. Then we turn our fingers towards the heart, backs of hands come together, open the pages of the book towards our heart, back into the open lotus flower. This takes practice, but you will get there. So we're going to do that lotus prayer wheel when we're standing at one point, so we can practice here. So that was my little demo to get you going. So hands at the heart space. Let's open up those fingers so that index, middle and ring open, and you can gaze down into your palm. Set your sankalpa. your heartfelt prayer. I give and receive love with ease and generosity. I live life from a place of trust, balance, and harmony. I open my heart and surrender to faith and love. My heart is full of peace and joy. And repeat your personal affirmation, your mantra to yourself silently 3 times. And now let's begin to rotate our hands, bringing our fingers down towards the earth as we rise up with our lotus flower, reaching to our crown and then coming back down towards our heart space. Let's do this 3 times. So we often move in cycles of 3 in yoga to represent the past, the present, the future, to represent creation, sustenance, and dissolution. One more time. It's also representing Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, representing Durga, your heart space. Take a moment here and let's open our arms out to the side. Let's turn our palms to face up, little fingers coming forward. Open across your heart, draw your shoulder blades together. Take a moment here. And then as you exhale, let's reach behind with our left hand, right hand to the outside of the knee. Coming into your seated twist here. Take a moment there. Then inhale back with arms parallel, palms facing up. Exhale over to the other side. So we're opening through our heart space today. Inhaling back to center, open up your arms. Now let's take our right arm up and then behind our shoulders. Take your left hand and take hold of your right elbow so that you're using your hand to gently lift your elbow and apply a little bit of downward pressure here. So you're really opening up underneath your armpit here on the right side. Let's take a moment here. And then let's reach out with our arms again. Open your palms. So turn your little fingers up. So you're really creating a little twist here. And then let's go the other way. So let's take our left hand behind our shoulders and then take hold of that elbow and draw that elbow back and gently down so that you're creating a sense of openness here under your left armpit. At your heart space, visualize the color green. So think, feel, and imagine any shade of green. This is the yantra for Anahata Chakra is a 6-pointed star with 12 lotus petals. Let's open up our arms out to the side, keeping your little fingers turned up. And then release your hands to the earth. Take a moment there. We're going to do Sufi circles here. So your hands on your knees or on your shins or ankles will help you create this motion. So as you inhale, come over to one side, leading with your heart, move over to the other side. The movement starts at the base of your spine. So as you inhale, you circle forward. As you exhale, you round back. Inhaling to come forward, exhaling to round back. Let's do 3 in one direction, big, generous circles. And then when you have reached your 3rd one, let's pause and then go in the opposite direction. So taking these circumductions of the spine, really leading your practice today with your heart space. So heart space is the meeting place of the lower 3 chakras and the upper 3 chakras. This is the place of union between the masculine and feminine forms. It is the meeting place between heaven and earth. The point, the bridge between the grounding, rooting chakras that we use in this world, and then the more upper ethereal chakras that help us guide and uplift. Coming to stillness here, let's swing our legs round and come onto all 4s into table. So this is where you might need to reach for your blanket, place that underneath your knees, spread your fingers wide, untuck your toes, draw your navel towards your spine. As you inhale, lift your tailbone, shine your heart and lift your gaze. And today, really focus on shining your heart forward. As you exhale, rounding from your tailbone all the way through your spine, tucking your chin. Vitlayasana. So this cycle of cat, cow, Majriasana, Vitlayasana. Let's practice this 3 times. Moving slowly. And then when you have done your 3 rounds, plant your right hand firmly to connect with the earth. Inhale, draw your left fingertips across your heart to reach up. Create opening here. Go to thread the needle here. As you exhale, thread that left arm behind your right arm, bringing your left ear and shoulder to the mat or to a cushion or a block. And breathe into your twist here. So having a cushion or folded blanket helps to perhaps give us a little bit of comfort underneath our left shoulder and ear. Your right hand can be reaching forward, or you can inhale and reach up towards the sky. Yogi's choice. Here you can bring your thumb to your index knuckle for your Vayu Mudra, this expansive mudra connecting with the element of air, which opens up the heart space so that we can receive and welcome, invite. Exhale, right hand to the earth. Inhale, left fingertips to the sky. And then let's go the other way. Left hand plants firmly on the earth. Press through your finger pads, the knuckles of that hand. Draw your right hand across your heart space to reach up. Create some space. And then exhale to thread your right arm behind your left arm, bringing your right ear and shoulder to the mat this time. Again, you can cushion the earth. Your left arm can crawl forward, or you can reach up towards the sky. And again, you can bring your thumb to your index in Vayu Mudra. So your middle ring and little fingers are extended. Your index is folded in. Your thumb is resting on that index finger knuckle. One breath here. Exhale, left hand to the earth. Inhale, come back into table here. Let's take a moment here. From here, we're going to move into melting heart, Anahata pose. And again here, you might want to have available your folded blanket or your cushion. And your options will be one arm folded. So I'm going to give you that demonstration first, and then I'll give you both hands. So as you exhale, come onto your forearms so that your elbows drop right underneath your shoulders. You might want to shuffle your knees a little bit back. See how this feels for you. You can rest your eyebrow center or your chin on your cushion. Or you can bring your cushion underneath your heart space. So here you walk your elbows forward, fold in your right arm so that you have a bend in your right elbow and your left arm is extending forward. Your eyebrow center can rest on your hand here, or again, you could have your black cushion here to bring the earth up to you. So one arm is extended, your left arm, and your right arm is folded. That's option one. And we'll swap over so that you practice Anahata with both arms extended. If yogis wish, they can walk their hands forward and then bring their eyebrow center to the earth, to your cushion, or your chin to the earth or your cushion. So both arms are reaching forward. This creates a deeper back bend, and therefore sometimes it might not be as accessible. It does put greater intensity on your back. So remember, you can have the folded arm option. If your left arm is extended and right arm is folded, let's swap over. So inhale, lift your eyebrow center, bring in your left arm first, and then extend your right arm. So you swap over, and now your eyebrow center might be resting on your left hand, or your left arm might be on a cushion so that the earth rises up to you. Breathe into the back of your heart space here. Visualize the color green, a six-pointed star. The downward triangle for your root, sacral and solar plexus chakras, Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipur, and the upward triangle to represent your throat, eyebrow center and crown, Vishuddha, Adna, and Sahasrara Chakra. So the heart really is the meeting place for the upward flowing energy and the downward flowing energy. One more breath here in Anahata. Wherever you are, if you have one arm folded, begin to rise with your hips so that you come back into neutral spine. And then bring both forearms onto the earth so that they're parallel. So your hips are above your knees now. Your elbows are on the earth underneath your shoulders. Your fingers are spread wide. From here, we're going to move into Sphinx Pose and then transition from there. So what we're going to do here is walk our knees away and then gently lower our abdomen and hips to the earth. Your feet can be as wide as the mat, or you can have big toes touching. Immediately tune in with your body, how that feels for your lower back. If you need more space for your upper body here, you can always move your elbows forward to create more space. Again, that will ease the intensity of any sensations that you're experiencing. If you feel pain, immediately ease out, and you can take your elbows to the outside of your mat and bring your head to rest on your hands. In Crocodile Variation. Here we are in Sphinx. So here you can stay here. And what I'm going to invite you to do is to sway from side to side. Maybe lift your gaze, lift your chin, and then round through your upper back, tuck your chin. So we're just going to introduce a little bit of movement here in our upper body. Now you can stay here with your forearms on the earth, or you can bring your hands underneath your shoulders, and so that you come into Bhujangasana variation, or this snake variation. And again, you can sway here. Perhaps you shine your heart forward and tuck your chin. The movement may feel very gentle and maybe quite subtle, maybe more noticeable. So you're in 2 variations, supporting yourself with your forearms or on your hands. Check how your lower back is feeling. 1 more here, and then we're going to move from here, and we are going to transition with care. Let's take your elbows out to the side, so you give yourself more space, and then let's lift our hips and sit bones. Bring our knees forward and then head with our sit bones towards our heels to come into child's pose, just for a moment here. Maybe you take your arms alongside your body, palms face up. That will ease any tension you're experiencing in your upper body, in your arms, from having been in Bhujangasana or Sphinx for the last few breaths. Let's take a couple of breaths here in child's pose. Let's take Brahmari breath here, honeybee breath. As you inhale through your nose, gently close your teeth and part your lips ever so slightly, so that as you exhale, you're making a humming sound or a buzzing sound at the back of your throat. Inhale fully. 2 more Brahmari breaths. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth as you make a humming or buzzing sound. Inhale together. Exhale together. And before we move on to the 3rd round, I'm going to ask you to bring your elbows forward and place them on the earth. And bring your hands in prayer, namaskar, at the back of your head. You can walk your elbows forward so that you create some extension underneath your armpits. We're going to do our final Brahmari breath here with namaskar at the back of our head. Inhale fully through your nose. Exhale Brahmari. Take a full breath in, and as you inhale, let's gently rise with our crown, eyebrow center, heart and hips back into table just for a moment. And then I'm going to invite all of you to step forward with your right foot between your hands. Now ensure that if you need padding underneath your left knee, you reach for your blanket, like so, and then it can be folded underneath your left knee so that you're protecting your knee from any unnecessary undue pressure. Let's shuffle your right foot forward so that you have a gentle diagonal on your left thigh. Your right knee and ankle are aligned here. So starting here in this low lunge. As you inhale, lift your gaze, lift your heart space, and reach with your fingertips up towards the sky, creating height here. And then as you exhale, let's turn our palms down and sweep them behind our back, reach forward, and then up. Let's do this twice more, sweeping our arms in these big circles, lifting our gaze, lifting our heart space. So I have the wall near me. If you have very close to the wall, give yourself a little bit of space so that you can reach through your fingertips. And then when you come to your 3rd one, reach up and then exhale, reach your hands behind your back. And here, I'm going to invite you to take another mudra called Grantha Mudra. This is a knot mudra. So interlace all your fingers. Your left index is on top of your right index. So you create this kind of shape here. And then bring your thumb and index of the same hand together. So you create a Grantita Mudra. This is like a knot. This, the Grantita Mudra is connected to Vishnu Granthi, which is a knot at your heart space. This knot represents any inner wounds, grief, trauma, loss that you experience. So by bringing our hands into this mudra, we help to unknot inner wounds, grief, or loss that we experience. This will help connect you to compassion and empathy. And it's not surprising if this opens up some raw emotions for you by holding this mudra. Grantita Mudra. And we'll come back to this mudra several times in our heart-based practice. So draw your hands down towards the earth, open across your heart, have trust and faith. Draw your shoulder blades together. Lift your gaze, look upward for spiritual lift. One more breath here. And then releasing your mudra, bring your hands to the earth and let's step back with our right foot and knee. And then here what you might want to do is just circle with your hips one way, then the other. You want to circle into a C shape to look back at your hips, just to release your hips. We've been here for a while. We're going to step forward with our left foot from table here. So inhaling, step forward with your left foot between your hands. Maybe shuffle that left foot forward to create an angle on your right thigh, or perhaps you might be more upright. Check how you feel here. And when you're ready, lift your gaze, lift your heart space. Inhale, reach up with your fingers towards the sky. Exhaling, turn your palms down, reach behind you to create a circle. Inhaling to reach up, exhaling to circle behind you. So moving with your breath, these big expansive circles. You can hear the knots in my body literally unknotting as I create these circles. So if you are Vata, and so we talk about our doshas, or our sort of personality types, or sort of the balance of the different elements we have in us, this practice is really great for opening up and stabilizing those with a Vata temperament. So 3 times here. And then when you have reached your 3rd time, reach up before circling your hands behind your back. Again, we're going to come into our Grantita Mudra. So interlace all your fingers, left index is on top. And then cross, then reach for your thumb and index. So bring the thumb and index together. So you'll create these little eye shapes. This is behind your back. And then draw your hands down towards the earth. Open through your heart. Lift your gaze. And perhaps you repeat your mantra here. The mantra for Anahata practice is Om Maha. The Vedic mantra, Om Maha. Om Maha. Connecting to the Great Mother. Om Maha. Or perhaps you repeat your personal affirmation. Your own positive affirmation. I love with freedom and ease. I love with generosity. I give and receive. Compassion and empathy. One more full breath here. And then release your mudra, bring your hands to the earth. This time we're going to step forward with our right foot to meet our left foot at the top of our mat. In a forward fold here. Uttanasana. Take a moment here. As you inhale, begin to unfurl your spine, curling up one vertebrae at a time. Bend deeply into your knees. And then as you rise up, crown reaches up, your drishti, your eyes meet the horizon, your heart opens, standing here in Tadasana, standing mountain. We'll take a moment here and we're going to do we're going to do our prayer wheel here, the Lotus Mudra, moving Lotus Mudra, Padma Chakra. So come into your Tadasana first. And then bring your hands together at your heart center in Namaskar. Drop inward here. This is the unstruck sound at the heart. Unhurt, unstruck. That's the meaning of Anahata. Anahata. Open up the middle 3 fingers to create your blooming lotus. And then as you exhale, bring your fingertips together, down, pointing downwards, with that downward pointing triangle. Fingertips fold in towards your heart, the backs of your hands come together. Then as you rise up, open your palms to your face like a book. Reach up with your lotus above your crown. And then exhale, coming down, that downward pointing triangle, backs of hands, open like a book, thumbs come together in lotus. One more time. And then here you can silently repeat your mantra, or Om Maha, Om Maha, Om Maha. Take a moment. And let's open our arms out wide, palms face up, little finger curls forward, thumbs heading back. And from here, we're going to do a little spin. Now, as we spin from side to side, we're going to tap our sternum or the thymus here at our heart space. So inhaling and exhaling to turn from left to right and bringing your hand to pat your heart space. Om Maha, Om Maha. So really we're moving here from the hips, opening our hearts, really creating some movement here. So that element of air, that flow, we're creating here in our upper body. So our lower body is grounded and rooted into the earth. Our upper body is flowing here through the air. We're tapping at our heart space. And you're in your own home. So this practice, often you can feel quite self-conscious when you're in a public space or in a yoga studio. But at home, let yourself go. Sometimes you can connect to Ma, mother, and you perhaps connect to a feminine figure in your life whom you respect, love, honor. Could be someone personal to you. It could be someone who's an icon. Any feminine figure that you connect with. Perhaps you visualize them here to inspire you, to connect you with emotions, feelings, nurturing, compassion, empathy. One more time here, and then we're going to come to stillness, slowing down, come to stillness. You might feel a little lightheaded here. You can certainly feel the energy moving around here. So grounding down through your feet, lifting your gaze to the horizon. Inhale, reach up with your fingers, gentle back bend. Exhale, sweep your arms behind your heart and bring them to your lower back. Place the heels of your hand just above those bony protrudes at the top of your sit bones here. Draw your shoulder blades together, really open through your heart space. Lift your gaze. Check that you have enough space at the back of your neck. Exhaling, bend into your knees. And bring your hands to your thighs. Inhaling, round through your spine. So now we have our hands on our knees or thighs. And we're going to round and open through our heart space here. So it's a standing cat-cow. Using your breath here. 3 times. So really tucking in your tailbone, rounding through your spine, tucking your chin on the Vitlayasana, and then lifting your tailbone and shining your heart on the Madhyasana. And one more here. And then let's reach up. Exhale, fold forward, fingertips to the earth. Step back long with your right foot. Drop your right knee here. Take a moment here. Gaze ahead. Inhale, reach up. Let's take hold of your right wrist with your left wrist and gently exhale and bend over to the left. So you have a lateral stretch here just for a moment. And then inhale, hands to the earth. Tuck your toes, step back long with your left leg. Knees, chest, chin in Ashtanga Namaskar or Ashtangasana to the earth. Bring your knees, untuck your toes, bend your elbows, chin and heart space to the earth, tailbone lifted. One breath here, and then slide your knees away, coming into Cobra Bhujangasana. Take a moment here. My dog's doing a beautiful variation of down dog there. Bend into your knees, lift your tailbones into mountain Parvatasana. Not here for long. Maybe you pedal your feet and heels. This is the first mountain here today. And then let's reach back long with our right leg. Exhale, bend into your right knee and step forward with your right foot between your hands. Maybe you shuffle your foot, taking a few steps to bring that right foot in. Drop your left heel to the earth. Inhale, rise up in Warrior One, Virabhadrasana. So your left heel is on the earth. Your left foot is at an angle. Perhaps you have a wide stance here. You can bring your hands into your Vayu Mudra, so folding your index. Bring your thumb to your index knuckles. Extend the other three fingers. Take a moment here. As you exhale, open out into Maha Virabhadrasana, the Great Warrior. Really sit here, ground down, open across your heart space. So the Vayu Pran, so this Vyana energy that spreads out through our fingers. So the six-pointed star travels with energies in all directions, up, down, out to the sides. So visualize the energy coming out from every limb, your crown, your feet, your hands, your heart space. One breath here. Let's drop your left hand to your left leg. Flip your right palm to the sky. Inhale, reach up and over, coming into Champey Warrior, Peaceful Warrior. Perhaps you gaze down towards the earth here. One breath here. Inhale, back into the Great Warrior. From here, reach behind your back. Come into your Gratita Mudra. So interlace all your fingers, left index on top, and then bring your thumbs and index to touch. So you create these eye shapes here. Draw your palms down towards the shoulder blades together. Sink into that right leg. Open your heart, lift your gaze. Now you can stay here, or you can begin to exhale, reach back with your hands, and you can come halfway. Or you can exhale and come down towards the earth with your crown in Humble Warrior. So you'll be in one of three places here with your Grantita Mudra. You'll be still upright with your upper body, heart open. You might be at an angle halfway, or you might have your crown down towards the earth. One breath here. And then let's release your hands. Bring your hands to the earth. Rotate on the ball of your left foot. And then let's step forward with our left foot to meet our right foot. Inhale to rise up in standing mountain Tadasana. Gentle back bend. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a moment here. You can have your hands in your lotus flower. your Padma Mudra, to receive love. For each of the 12 lotus petals that are connected to the heart chakra, perhaps you give a quality associated with love, compassion, joy, peace to each of those petals. Take a moment here. Reconnect with your breath. My dog is sleeping. Inhale, reach up, gentle back bend. Exhale to fold forward, come to the earth. And then step back along with your left leg. Bring your left knee to the earth for a moment here. Untuck your toes. Inhale, reach up with your arms. Take hold of your left wrist with your right. And then exhale over to the right. Come into this lateral stretch here. Take a moment. Then releasing your wrist, bring your hands to the earth. Let's step back along with the right foot to meet the left. Here you are in plank. Balasana. Exhale, knees, untuck your toes, bend your elbows. Ashtangasana to the earth. Tailbone is lifted here, your hips are lifted. Chin or heart space on the earth, or perhaps a folded blanket or cushion. Slide your knees away, coming to the earth with your abdomen. Now this time, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, begin to rise up. We're going to come into Urdhva Mukha Shavasana, upward dog. So just for a moment here, check how your back feels. For here, you might want to bring your hands even underneath your shoulders. Maybe you tuck your toes and lift your knees. You can have your knees and thighs and lower legs on the earth, toes untucked. You can have your toes tucked and knees lifted. Yogi's choice, just for a moment. Or you can be here a little bit lower in Cobra. You find the place where you want to be with your heart space today. As you exhale, begin to lift your tailbone back into mountain. Parvatasana, move with care and compassion. Showing ahimsa, compassion for yourself. Take a moment here. Let's reach back along with our left leg. Bending your knee, let's thread that left foot forward. So perhaps you take your left foot out wide and then shuffle it in. Take as many steps as you need to arrive here. Drop your right heel so that you now come into a warrior pose on this side. Inhale, reach up, hands to sky. Warrior one. Let's take a moment here. You can bring your Vayu Mudra, your expansive air element mudra here to help balance Vata temperament or the air element within your system. So if you feel flighty or anxious, this mudra can help settle. Exhale, open into warrior two. So bend into your left knee. Really push out to the outer edge of your right foot here. Take a moment here. Let's drop your right hand onto your right thigh. Flip your left palm. Reach forward and then up and over. Coming into Champey Warrior on this side. I live life with balance and in harmony with myself and those around me. One more breath here. Back into warrior two. Maha. Let's reach behind you and bring your hands into Gratita Mudra. So interlace all your fingers, left index on top of right, and then thumb and index touch on both hands. And then draw your mudra down, open your heart, lift your gaze. So again, you will have the option of coming into your variation. You stay here more upright. Perhaps you come to a diagonal angle, and that might be enough for you. You might fold down towards the earth, hands reaching up. Whichever variation you're in, ground down through your left foot. Really reach out through that outer edge of your right foot and connect with your mudra. Check how your heart space is feeling here. One more breath. And then let's release our hands to the earth. Rotate onto the ball of our right foot and step forward with our right foot to meet our left, coming into a forward fold here. And then inhaling, let's bend into our knees. Rise up with your arms to the sky. Gentle back bend. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a moment here. Perhaps you have your lotus mudra here. Maybe you gaze into the palms of your hands, connecting with your positive affirmation. Om Maha. Om Maha. And before we come to the earth, we're going to move into pyramid pose. So check you're grounded through your feet. So perhaps you lift your toes and press lower them one by one, bending into your knees to really connect with the earth. And then hands can be on your hips for balance or holding onto a wall, or hands at your heart center. Let's bend into our knees and step back long with our left foot here. And then straighten through your right leg here. Now your pyramid base can be quite narrow or it can be quite wide. So you can take your feet towards the outer edges of your mat. Your left foot is at an angle. So your toes are pointing at a diagonal angle. Your right toes are pointed forward. Have a gentle bend in your knees so that you're not locking out here. So turn your hips and your heart forward. Hands together at your heart center. Lift your gaze towards the sky. Make sure you keep lots of space here at the back of your head. Take a moment there. Then come back to neutral. Let's reach behind your back, take hold of opposite elbows, or bring your palms together in reverse prayer, so reverse namaskar. I'll just show you here between your shoulder blades. Or you could be holding your elbows, yogi's choice. One breath here. Lift your heart space to the sky. Lift your gaze so that you're looking at perhaps the place where the ceiling meets the wall. The weight is shifting into that back leg, but you're still maintaining connection through that right foot. If your hands are in prayer, really bring your thumbs together, open out your elbows. One breath here. On the exhale, we're going to hinge from our hips, reach with our crown forward. Make sure you have a soft bend in that forward facing leg. And we're going to hum halfway. So you might have hold of your elbows here, halfway here. Shavasana, pyramid pose. One more breath here. Then inhale, engage your core to rise up, standing mountain. Release your hands, standing pyramid rather. And then we're going to step forward with our left foot to meet our right. Take a moment here. And then we're going to step back with our left foot long behind us. And again, find your pyramid base. So maybe you shuffle your feet out. You have an angle in your right foot. Have a soft bend in your knees, hips, heart facing forward, hands at your heart to start with. And then reach behind and take hold of opposite elbows. Or bring your palms together in namaskar. Yogi's choice. If your palms come together, really open out with your elbows so that your elbows are pulling back, your palms are pressing firmly. Lift your gaze, open your heart, gazing up towards that meeting place of the ceiling and the wall, the meeting place of the sky and the earth. As you exhale, hinge from your waist, reaching with your crown forward. Halfway lift here. Gaze down towards the mat. Keep length between your shoulders and ears here. One full breath. Engage your core. Inhale, bend into your left knee to rise back up. Standing pyramid. Release your elbows or your hands. And then let's step forward to the top of our mat. Take a moment here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down towards the earth. And then let's come onto our knees here. I'm going to move into Oestrus, Camel Pose. So this is where I'm going to invite you to really create some padding underneath your knees or your feet so that you have something that you rest on. And maybe you tuck your toes here to start with. Inhale, come upright so your hips are above your knees. Let's take a moment here, hands at your heart. Let's gaze up towards that meeting place of the ceiling and the wall. Take your hands and place them around the bottom of your ribs so that you're cupping the bottom of your ribs between your thumb and index finger, and then open across your heart here, drawing your elbows together. So this is really helping opening across your heart space. And then when you're comfortable there, bring your heels of your hand onto your lower back. Now you might stay here, especially if your lower back or your upper back has a story to tell. This might be enough. Push your hips forward so your hips and pelvis come forward. Check that you have lots of space at the back of your neck here. If you wish, you can reach for your left heel with your fingers. You can be here with one hand reaching back. You might reach with your other hand towards your heels. But check where you are. Check how your lower back feels here. We're not going to be here for long. This is part one of our practice. When we come to part two, we'll extend this. One more breath here in Oestrus, your variation of Oestrus, so your hands can still be on your lower back. And wherever you are, let's bring your hands to your lower back to support your lower back. And then gradually come to neutral, moving very slowly. From here, we're going to transition directly into hare pose, Shavasana. So take your sit bones back towards your heels. Keep supporting your lower back. And then when you're about halfway, bring your hands to the earth. And then bring the top of your head, your crown, to rest very gently on the earth. No pressure on your head here. So you're literally just, there's a hair's breadth between your head and the earth. And then you can keep your hands where they are or reach back for your heels and cup your heels with your hands. And to get a more of a greater opening in your lower back, perhaps you round through your back, tucking your chin here. That will create even more of a release in your lower back. One more breath here. And let's do one Brahmari. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through closed mouth, making a humming or buzzing sound. Release your hands back alongside your head. Untuck your toes. And bring your heels to rest on your
your sit bones resting your heels. Let's be here in child's pose. Arms can come alongside you, yogi's choice.
Let's take a couple of calming, releasing breaths here.
Soften through your whole body. And then bring your hands next to your head. Inhale, begin to uncurl your spine, to come up.
Come onto your right hip. Now, yogis, if you choose, you can go directly into Shavasana, or we can have a moment here in Sukhasana. So you'll either be lying on the earth in Shavasana or seated in Sukhasana. Bring your hands to your heart space. I'm going to gently and softly close our practice with Om Maha 3 times. The Vedic mantra for Anahata Chakra, to the Great Mother, and Om Shanti 3 times. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Inhale to prepare. Om Maha. Om Maha. Om Maha. Om Maha. Om Shanti. 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 Dhanyavad. Thank you for joining me today. So to remind you, on Sunday, 21st, this weekend, is International Day of Yoga. It is also the summer solstice, and there's a new moon with a partial solar eclipse, all coming together on Sunday. So on Sunday, instead of our usual 6 o'clock yin practice, we're going to have yin and yang practice at 7:45. That's 19:45. We'll do some sun salutations to honor the longest day here in the Northern Hemisphere. And that will be followed by a gong bath, so you can transition straight from your yin-yang practice into your gong bath at 9 o'clock. Or you can just join the gong bath at 9 o'clock. So don't forget to go onto the YouTube, like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, because I will upload the gong bath there so that we can transition. We all know the sound is better, and Zoom doesn't really work for sound vibrations. Even when I chant Om, Zoom can't handle it. So thank you, yogis. If you're in Shavasana, rest easy. Otherwise,